Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. This is Lotus Riche with Lotus Riche Ignites Life Coaching and Consulting. I am so happy that you are here with me today. And today I have a phenomenal guest with me that is going to blow your socks off. And while we're getting ready, I want you to come on in, get in where you're fitting, because I've always got room around my table for you. Come on in, and when you join me, go ahead and put a 1 in the box and let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're here. I see Angela Elting from Washington, D.C. You're already here. Good to see you, and thank you so much. And those of you that are still coming in, come on in. Get your pad and get your pen, because Dr. Heflin is going to give us some great information today. Now, as you're coming in, come on in, put your location where you're joining us from. Let us see where you're joining us from. As you know, the broadcast, sometimes it has a little difficulty letting us see where you're streaming in from, but it's okay because we're getting all that worked out. But in the meantime and in between time, we still want to know where you're broadcasting from. And as you chime in, if I can't put it on the screen, I definitely will give you a shout out. So come on in. As you know, today we are going to be talking about a wonderful topic that has to do with you. And the question that I put out earlier was this: robots, are they replacing humans? And a lot of people talk about the fact that robots will someday replace humans. Well, I don't know if that is fact, if it will or if they won't. But I do know this: I have some fabulous information about robots that will help you help yourself ignite and take flight. So come on in. And as you come in, make sure you have yourself something to drink. Right now, I am drinking Izumio water, and I'm drinking this. It's hydrogenized water. And if you can see it, it's hydrogenized water because I like to take care of my mind, body, and soul. And it will hydrate me on a cellular level. So that's what I'm drinking. And I hope you're drinking something wonderful too. And put down in the comment below what you're drinking. I'd like to know. So with no further ado, I want to tell you a little bit about my guest and your guest. My guest and your guest is a phenomenal pioneer. He is an African-American individual. He has a doctorate in educational technology as well as a doctorate in education. And I got to tell you, I was on his show the other day. I had a fabulous time, but we are going to have an equally fabulous time on the show today. And as we get prepared to ignite and take flight, you come on in. And if you haven't told a friend, go tell a friend and tell a friend of me too. And bring everyone you know, because we are here to spread the good news about what's going on with robots. So come on in as we get ready to meet my dear friend. All right. So I want you to welcome to our platform today none other than the magnificent Dr. Elliott Heflin. Hello, Doc. How you doing?
Hello. I'm okay, and thank you for allowing me to be on your show, on your platform. I'm so elated. I'm so happy.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you here. I feel so grateful, and I feel so honored to have you here because I know that you are a pioneer in your field, and you really set the platform for how people need to engage when it comes to robotics. So I want to thank you for that, because you set a higher level for people to aspire to. Because like Les Brown says, the problem isn't that we aim too high and miss. The problem is that we aim too low and hit. But you, Dr. Heflin, you're always aiming high. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and just tell us where you're coming in from for the broadcast?
Yes, I'm broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Awesome. Fantastic. So, Doc, let me ask you this, because you and I, we were talking about robotics the other day, but we were also talking about how do we empower people to be the best version of themselves. And I know today we're going to hit on a couple of topics, but first and foremost, can you tell us a little bit about what you do and what inspired you to get into it?
Right now, I guess I wouldn't say dabble. I'm being a little humble, I guess. I dabble in robotics and drones. And what inspired me to this type of technology, I noticed that in this technology that people who look like me were not there. They were not present. And I was seeing everyone take advantage of this technology except us. So I made a conscious decision to bring the current technology to Georgia. Yes, it exists here, but it exists on a real low scale. To give you an example, we only have 2 higher institutions that have the technology that I have, and 1 private school. That's out of the state of Georgia, not just the city of Atlanta. And I just want to make sure the children continue to have the same advantages everyone else has. I want to make sure of that. And
awesome. I love that, because we have to invest in ourselves if we're going to be pioneers in anything we do. We have to believe in ourselves, but we also have to invest in ourselves in such a way that not only do we reap the benefits of what we're investing in ourselves, but our children, our nieces, our nephews, and even those that we're collectively connected to, that they also can reap the benefits of us taking advantage of this technology. And I just call it leveraging. So can you tell us a little bit about how people can leverage this technology that you're speaking of?
well, I would say, this is the perfect time. You, we all are secluded in our own homes, supposed to be. You can take advantage of this right now. You can anything. This is my advice to you. Anything, not just robotics.
Yes.
Anything that you have a weakness in yourself, you can expand on that now and make it stronger. I'm not saying make it perfect, but you can make it stronger, no matter what that is. And I really employ you to do that with this time. This time can be a blessing. It can be a blessing of growth. Take advantage of it.
A lot of people, Doc, they don't really know a whole lot about robotics, especially when it comes to some of the new technologies that is out. So before we go over there, I'd like you to tell people a little bit about your company, RealityTech. Can you tell us a bit about it, how it was created, and who the CEO of that company is?
Okay, I created RealityTech out of the need. Like I said, I didn't want to see I guess you can call them low income, undeserved communities. I didn't want them to be left behind. And to be honest with you guys, I read an article that said U.S. students have no clue, no clue of what robotics is really about or AI. And something in my spirit that day told me, not on my watch. I will make sure that the people I come in contact with know something about robotics and AI.
Awesome. I love it because you sound like most of the military folks that I was blessed to serve with, and even those who have retired, and even those who are serving now. What we say is not on our watch. And of course, we are not going to let anyone on our program sleep on the wonderful ideas and the wonderful power that understanding robots has. So, with that being said, I want to just click to something. I want to share with many people today that may not be aware of this, that they should really go ahead, start a watch party, because we're getting ready to share some powerful information with you about robots that you don't know. So, Doc, I'm going to go ahead and click to something that I found when I was on your business page that I'd like to share with our audience. So, I'd like all of you just to stand by for a quick moment, and we're going to be right back and share something with you about robots. And if you haven't liked, shared, or started a watch party, make sure you start one right now. And by the way, Doc, I know that robots are also for kids as well. It's not just an adult thing. Is that right?
No, it's for kids. Like I said,
Awesome.
the youngest, I told you before in the previous conversation we had, the youngest person I ever encountered in this industry was 6 years old.
Wow. And they were able to grasp.
And they was able to grasp. Yes, I had to break it down and take the terminology out and bring it down to their level, but they were able to operate the robot independently without me at 6 years old.
Oh, wow. At 6 years old. So
Yeah.
people around my age in their 20s, right? They can learn. They can learn because age is a state of mind, right? Age is a state of mind. So they can learn the robotic technologies as well. And predominantly you program the robots, correct?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And to further prove it to you, we're going to share this video with you. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back, and we're going to share this wonderful video with you that we have been blessed to have provided for us from Dr. Heflin. And if you're just joining us, please go ahead. Come on in, get in where you fit in. But most importantly, like, share, and make sure you start a watch party. So I want to share this information with you because it is super important that you know about just simple things that you need to know about when it comes to robotics. And we're also going to share some commercials with you from Doc Heflin. But the first one that I want to share with you is this one. So let me go right back to it and bring you to it. Guess it keeps popping up on top. Hold on a second, Doc. Here we go. Let's try it again. All right, here we go. I think we've got it. So for those of you that are not really familiar with robots and how they work, here we go. Check this out. Okay, I'm not sure if everyone was able to hear that, but just in case you weren't, we're going to show you again because it's super important that you can hear it. Here we go. Let's try one more time. All right. Here we go. We're going to start it for you guys. There we go.
For ages, the dog has been man's best friend. We want to introduce you to man's new best friend. Meet Chip. Chip is a robotic dog that's much more than just a cool gadget. Chip is an interactive pet that's there to greet you at the door. With the smart band, Chip recognizes who his owner is.
Hey, have you seen my other slipper? Have you seen my other slipper?
And shows affection to them when near. Chip is obedient and can follow commands. But he also learns new things, so you can teach him tricks. And the smarter Chip becomes, the more badges he earns. When you like what you see, just press the like button on the band, which can encourage him to behave. Or be a little mischievous. Your choices change Chip's behavior and shapes his personality, so that no two Chips are ever alike. Chip is a connected experience. He has a translator. What is a Chip? So you can understand his thoughts. He comes with his own smart ball, so you can play fetch and stay active together. He also has sensors, so you can maneuver around obstacles with ease. And with the mobile app, you can feed Chip, which shows you care. And that's important, because when you're in need, no matter if big or small, he's there for you. With his beacon sense technology, Chip is fully aware of his surroundings.
Seriously, no one's seen it? This is like the 5th time.
He even knows how to return to his bed when it's time for a charge, so he never runs out of energy. Chip is a smart device. Chip is a robot. Chip is a dog. But most importantly, Chip is a friend. The best kind.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Doc, I know that you are the mastermind or one of the masterminds globally that actually goes in and programs these type of robots. So, can you tell us why is it so critically important that we, all Americans, but especially people of color, begin to understand how critically important knowing what robots are, how to use them, and how to program them? Can you tell us why that's so critically important?
Yes, as you can see from the commercial we just shown you guys, there's so many different components in the robot, and I want you to be able to recognize what these components are. Just to give you an example,
Yes.
when the dog recognizes their face, that is something that we call facial recognition. They have that now. So,
Yes.
I know you probably didn't watch some type of sci-fi show and they had facial recognition on there. This is a tool that's being used. It just necessarily doesn't have to be a robot, but it's letting you know all these different components are in it. Obstacle avoidance. We have that in cars now. The car stops when it's getting ready to hit something. So you have to know where all these different things are coming from. And so what they did in society was to, I guess you can bring it down to the level of a dog to get the children to be able to relate to these different technologies. And hopefully someone will be around them to spark, okay, how can he recognize my face? Okay, well, I'll tell you about facial recognition. And that's how it goes. And that's how everything end up playing together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, to me, it's very important that as a society, we know about it. Because if you don't know, their objective is to have a humanoid robot in every household in America. Like their
Wow.
objective was to have a computer in every household. Now
Right.
their objective is to have a humanoid robot in every household doing some type of minute activity. I know a lot of kids, you guys probably love this. Your robot to clean up your room. You know, robot to fold your clothes. You know, it's so
Some
many
grown-ups would too, Doc.
there's
Some
so
grown-ups would
yeah,
too.
there's so many different possibilities.
Yes.
And instead of I'm getting a little personal with it. Instead of you being the person on the other end who's purchasing, why don't you start asking the question why?
Yes.
So you become a developer
Exactly.
instead of a person who buys it.
Exactly. And that's a big thing, Doc. People they oftentimes don't ask that question why. Why is this happening? But also they don't sometimes, I guess, believe in themselves and they don't invest in themselves. And you obviously believe that people need to invest in themselves and invest in their own knowledge so they can program robots or even make robots. So why is it so important for people to know how? One, let me say this. Let me give you this one first. Why is it important for people to have awareness about agendas? Why is that important?
Because it's how can I put it? It's like I explained to kids that's in my that comes to my camps or come to my classroom in my Python classroom. I explain to them and I stress to them, you should always ask why, no
Yes.
matter what the subject is. Continue asking why until the day you perish. Why is this? Why is that? Some people get on your nerves. Most likely, it's because they don't know.
Right.
So you go ask someone else,
Mhm.
but don't stop asking why. And the
Right.
reason I stress it is because
Mhm.
in today's household, we see all these different technologies. We're using all these different technologies, but we have no clue
Mhm.
on what's the purpose.
Right.
And why do we have it? Just to give you an example, we all have Androids or iPhones or what have you,
Mhm.
but don't know too many people know that this technology is AI.
Mhm.
When you say to Google, Google
Mhm.
Elliott Heflin, and it finds Elliott Heflin. That's
Yep.
AI. So to me, that is the purpose because I want you to know
Mhm.
exactly what you are using something for. What is the purpose of this thing? Because we all have computers, and I'm just using an example. We have phones, we have all these different technologies within our homes, and basically, if you will take a survey of people utilization
Mhm.
of these
Mhm.
technologies, it'll
Mhm.
make you cry.
So I want to trickle back to something you said a moment ago, Doc, because it's critically important. You talked about asking the purpose. Why are we having or we seeing this tremendous uptick in technology? You talked about that, and you talked about it is critically important to ask why. But you used a term, and I would like you to share what the term means for some people who are joining us. If you're coming in, pardon me, come on in, get in where you fit in. We have the phenomenal Dr. Elliott Heflin. He's a robotic guru, and he's here today talking with us about robots, why they're important, and why we should know about them. And we need to understand what their purpose is in our homes. So we just talked about those few things, but you made a comment about AI.
Yeah.
Many people don't know what AI is. Can you please tell people what AI is?
Yes. AI is artificial intelligence. We can, I guess, if I break it down to layman terms, you can say artificial brain, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And these things have this. You know, you're right now, but I'm pretty sure they're working on it. You know, you'll be able to talk to your car and say start, and it'll
Yes.
start instead of pushing a button, which
Right.
at that point you just push a button now. But
Mhm.
you'll be able to get into the car and say start,
Mm-hmm.
or take me to, since I'm in Atlanta, take me to Kroger. And
Yes.
the car take you to Kroger, and you
Mhm.
don't have to do anything.
Right.
So I just want you to know that these things
Mhm.
are on the table,
Yes.
and I don't want you to be left out.
Right.
So, and so to speak, I guess to bring it to street vernacular, I'm putting you up on game. So if you don't want to know these things,
Mhm.
you continue being a user. And I'm a little bit off of what I was saying.
Mhm.
I asked the students, why do you think Apple charged $1,000 for an Apple phone? And you say to yourself, I'm just buying a phone for $1,000 just to call somebody.
Mm.
So you missed the boat already.
Yes.
They're charging you $1,000 because that thing does so much. You can phone, you can text, it's a computer, you can take camera, you can take pictures, you can do all sorts of things with it in the palm of your hand. You're connected to the world.
Yes.
But you think so minute. I'm not saying everyone, the majority of us think so minute that we're just connected to Billy Bob around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I use my computer to talk to people in Ghana and Libya and all these different places overseas that I can't afford to go. But I
Right.
talk to them on a daily basis
Mm-hmm.
and get
Wow.
their knowledge and bring it back to the U.S. because for some odd reason, we haven't invested too much into what I would say larger robots.
Platforms, right. So, Doc, I heard you say earlier that it's important for us to learn the technologies and to really immerse ourselves in it because we need to know what this AI is, or the artificial intelligence that is existing with us in our homes. And so many people have said even the pandemic now is a result of AI. And that's a whole different discussion. And I'm going to have to bring Doc back for that discussion. But those of you that's coming in, come on in, because what I'm hearing you say, Doc, is don't be a user, be a creator. Don't just use the technology, but know about it, learn about it so you can create things from the technology. And before you answer that, Doc, or respond to that, I want to look at some of the comments that we have that have been streaming in. And I want to welcome the folks on. We've got Sean Seagal all the way from Ohio. It's good to see you. I kind of chuckle at one of his comments earlier because when we showed the video of the robotic dog, which has been programmed to engage with the children, to sit, obey, eat, sleep, all of those things, which is exactly what Dr. Heflin does. He programs these robots to do a myriad of things. And one thing that I liked is that it is individual specific. So it can react to your voice. And if you notice, the child had on a little command watch, if you will, to command her puppy. And I laughed because Sean said, wow, that's nuts. And then Angela said, awesome video. So thank you, but also thank you, Dr. Heflin, because you made that possible, because I went and grabbed that off your platform from your company. So thank you for sharing that. And then Sean also said, that's insane. And it's, one would think, that is insane, but you know what? The reality is that this is happening every day right before our eyes. And thank you, Phyllis. Phyllis said, I love that video. Thank you so much. Because things are quickly emerging around us. And a lot of this software, it's not coming, it's already here. Yeah. So if you understand that this technology is here, put a 2 in the comment below. Put a 2 in the comment below. And if you haven't shared this broadcast, if you haven't liked or even started a watch party, please go ahead and start a watch party. And like Sean said, that's an incredible development. Kids can have a digital pet, and especially for children and people who have pet allergies, because a lot of folks have allergy to pet dander. So this is another way that they can get that companionship, but get it from a robot. So with that being said, I want to say thanks again to Phyllis. She said, what a imaginative concept. Hey there, Sanchez. Rosemary Sanchez, it's good to see you. And we've got some 2 streaming in. Thank you so much. And those of you that are looking at this broadcast, if you haven't yet, the program that I use to stream, it will ask you for the ability to show your comment. So please allow it to show your comment, because this is something new that StreamYard has gone to, where you must give authority to show. So please give your authority to show your comment, because we love to have your comments and we want to take your questions so that Dr. Heflin can answer them, and make them some hard questions, because you guys know he's got a couple doctoral degrees, so he's super smart and he's here to help today. So Dr. Heflin, let me ask you this. We know that artificial intelligence is taking over, and we see it in every facet of what we do. We use artificial intelligence to protect our homes, to protect our cars, almost to protect our persons, if you will. And you alluded to the fact that there's going to come a time where cars are going to drive you where you need to go. And I've actually seen that technology on a video. So can you tell us what is that going to really look like?
Well, what I want to touch on something, it is going to go in that direction. I want to bring up a current time right now.
Yes.
We're in COVID-19 right now. You can get on your computer and research right now. We have different robots who are delivering medication to people who are positive already, instead of a human being doing it. Okay? So that's one avenue that you can take with the robot. The robot is trying to, I won't say, it's not going to make you lazy, because it's going to create some other work that you're going to have to do. But it's trying to make it convenient for you. It's trying to make everything, so you don't have to focus your energy on this task. You can be doing another task. Like we had mentioned, the car driving you to Kroger, because I'm in Atlanta, you guys. It's driving you to Kroger. And now, instead of me holding the wheel, I can be doing what we're doing right now.
Right.
I can be having a podcast while it's taking me to the grocery store. And no one will never know the difference.
Right.
And I'm just trying to show you guys how it can free up your life, so to speak. It's all, don't think of it as, I'm not going to go into it too much because I know we're going to hit on it. It's an assistant.
Yes.
And you have to realize it's an assistant. So, yes, we're all busy. We're becoming career-minded people. We have a lot on our plates, so why wouldn't we need something to help us out?
Exactly.
We can't rely on we can rely on some people, but remember, a robot don't ask for breaks. A robot don't ask for a raise. A robot don't say he's tired. So you have to factor all those things in.
Right. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Doc. A lot of people, and we've had Doc and I, we've had this discussion, and we talked about this, about robots and how wonderful they are, because there are a lot of pros to having robots as helpmates around the house, taking food to people, especially in this pandemic, as well as medicines and things of that nature, and also to be a companion, because I even saw Miss Weaver said, I wouldn't mind having one. I love dogs, but allergic to most breeds. And that is the facts of life. Many people are allergic to animals. Well, in addition to that, oftentimes we have people that are alone, especially like right now in the midst of COVID. We have elderly people who live alone. We have elderly couples who live alone, and we have single individuals who live alone, who don't have anything or anyone. And oftentimes they don't have pets, but they could have this type of pet to help bring them comfort and engage with. Now, those are all great things. Those are all great things. But here comes the question that so many people ask. We already know that this artificial intelligence is in every facet of where we are. But is it safe? Is artificial intelligence safe for us? Can you talk about that?
Yes, I believe it's safe. I believe, anything can be misused. We say planes and cars are safe. But I know if I was a crazy person, I can go up on the sidewalk and run over a few people. So it always can be misused. But what I want to make sure that I touch on is it'll be safe long as the person who's programming it, like myself, is safe. Now, if he's deranged, so to speak, he might do a couple of things. But overall, they're very safe, because this is the key factor that you guys should never forget. A human being programmed the robot.
Right.
Don't believe TV. It doesn't get up and do things on its own. It doesn't have a mind of its own. Even the AI, it appears that he's responding to you, but he's responding to key words that I put in it. So when he hears hello, he knows to say hello. But without that input, he'll just be plastic and wires. So
fantastic. So I'm hearing you say the robot can really do no more than we program it to do.
Correct.
Is that right? Okay. So with that being said, why is it that some people are feeling like the robots, and when I say robots, I'm talking about artificial intelligence of every type, that the robots are taking over and that the robots are doing what they want to do. And case in point, let's talk about Siri that's in our phone. Many people say, oh, Siri does what she wants to do. You can say, Siri, call somebody. And I don't want to say it too loud because the Siri in my phone might call somebody. But we can say, Siri, call this person or that person, and they'll call that person. But then the next time we'll say, call this person, they'll call somebody else. The technology will call someone else. And so people say, Siri's got a mind of her own. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because you said engineers such as yourself that have doctorals in technology program these items. So what can you say about things that technology that goes awry?
what I've learned from I guess you can say trial and error, so to speak.
Mhm.
It's not serious.
Mhm.
It's us.
Mhm.
We are so used to hearing ourselves talk.
Yes.
So we think we're making the correct pronunciation and we're not. That's what I've learned from myself. I had to repeat certain things and say it with clarity, probably slow it down or whatever. You really don't know what speed the guy have the language recognition set at. So you have to speak what they say clear and precise. Don't put it on TV. It's you.
So this is why we set up our phones with the voice recognition and all that. But even with that, some people still say it's still a problem, and it's not them. It is the technology in these phones that we're having. And many people are afraid that if they embrace more technology in their homes, like robots, um, that it's going to be a problem. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
I think we all, as human beings, it's human nature to be afraid of something that you don't know about.
Mhm.
And once you realize what you have at your fingertips, whatever you buy, search, you know, end up buying, and you
Mhm.
find out that these preconceived notions that I had is
Right.
it's not right. So
Mhm.
I I just chalk it up to they probably didn't have any experience
Mhm.
with robots. A lot of people, if you pay attention to them, they don't have patience, and you have to have patience with technology. Almost said Siri.
Mhm.
Like I said,
Mhm.
like I alluded to, you might have to slow down
Mhm.
and say it clearly so he'll understand you or she'll understand you.
Mhm.
Because they're looking for an algorithm.
Right.
So they're not, and we might, you know how we are, we might leave a vowel out. We might leave, we might leave a letter out,
Mhm.
you never know, but
Awesome. So, Doc, I want to share this with you because this is some of the things that we remember when we talk about robots and having fears from them. I want to share this with you, and I want to say to all of you, I don't own the rights to this information, and this is totally for entertainment purposes, but I'm going to share this with you because this begs the question of our safety and us relying on artificial technology. So I'm going to share this with you, and then I'm going to ask Dr. Heflin to please speak to this part. Let me see.
We designed them to be trusted with our homes, with our way of life, with our world. But did we design them to be trusted?
The rollout of USR's new generation of robot, the NS5, was marred by the death of designer Alfred Lanning.
Identified. Murder's a new trick for a robot. Respond. He don't murder him. I'm gonna miss the good old days. One good old.
So, as we talk about those things, when it comes to robots, people can be deathly scared because AI is everywhere in every place globally. If you look or have lived overseas, there's cameras everywhere. You're constantly being watched. You're constantly being And someone said it's intrusive. So let's look at that. Many people are concerned about government intrusion. Is there a way to be spied on? And many people think that a lot of this AI technology is being used to spy on them. Because as we know, Dr. Heflin, a lot of these programs that these companies like Google and even StreamYard and Facebook, all of these companies, they use artificial technology to gather information on us. And then they use that so that they can kind of advertise to what they see our love is. You know, if we like robots, they're going to send something to our phone or to our computers or what have you about robots. So they're constantly gathering information about us. And that's why so many people feel like they're being spied on. And thanks, Phyllis. She said, I remember that movie.
Okay. Yes, I guess I'm gonna address Phyllis.
Mm-hmm.
That's fictitious. What we just seen is a fictitious clip. And to be honest with you, the government can already see what they want to see. They don't need a robot to do it. What my mother used to tell me when I was younger, and a lot of people who have that, I guess, that fear of being discovered should, I guess, internalize. If you don't do anything wrong, what do you care what they see? So, and you really don't know if they're watching you or not, because they have the technology to basically see straight through your wall if they wanted to, and to hear everything in your house if they wanted to. So having a robot, if you're paranoid about that, why be? Because it already exists. You just don't know it.
So, but now they do. Now they know it because we're sharing it. And that's the reason why we're here today, to help enlighten you about robots. We're trying to ensure that we present information for you that helps you understand what robots are, that they are controlled or actually navigated through by human beings, just like
By
you and
human
I.
beings.
And they have the power that human beings attribute to them. Now, I do understand that many people are afraid. I hear it frequently. And that's one of the reasons why the brilliant guru of robotics, Dr. Heflin, is here with us today. And what we've shared so far, for some of you that's coming in, come on in, come on in. And I hope you've told a friend. And of course, I hope you've told a frenemy about the show today. Dr. Heflin is a leading authority in his stream of professions, because he doesn't only have a degree, a doctoral degree in educational technology, but he also has a doctorate in education. So he can help teach you technology, but he can also help you learn your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s to help you get to the technology. So Doc, I want to ask this question of you because people want to know if they allow a robot into their house, should they be scared that the robot might malfunction and maybe attack them or hurt them or their children or something like that?
No, I don't really think it has the capabilities. The first thing we do when we program a robot from, I guess you can say, from the ground level, from scratch, we put a clause into the CPU, which is the computer brain.
Right.
And first it's taught to do no harm to humans.
Right.
So it's taught that. So it won't. Even if you try to make it, it won't.
Mhm.
As long as that program is there. Now,
Right.
if you take that program out, that's a different story.
Okay.
But I wanted to let you know
Mhm.
that what you're seeing is fictitious.
Right.
It's almost like the boogeyman.
Mhm.
It doesn't exist. You understand? I don't know
Yes.
why
Mhm.
people are trying to make you afraid of it. Maybe if you're afraid of it, you won't make it a part of your lucrative career. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna leave that for another show. So I'm just
So,
gonna let you know someone making you scared of something that you should not be scared of.
so let me say this, because we are going to trickle back to that
Mhm.
lucrative, because many people that work with robotics, many people that do the programming and things like that, they often aspire to millionaire or billionaire status because of the high demand for it, because it's unequivocal. AI runs so much of what we do on the planet.
Yes.
So there is money to be made, and there is money being made by anybody that's involved in AI. Would it be safe to say that?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Very good.
So with that being said, I want to tap onto something right quick, because we're hearing a lot of things amid what's going on with this COVID. And it's been said that COVID is it was caused by some type of 5G technology that happened in Wuhan. And it's something where, they had bats, and people were eating bats and snakes, and it metamorphosized, and then it spawned into this thing called the COVID virus. And, when they released 5G, it sent out an electronic signal that awaken something within the human body to cause people to feel sick and have the ailments that they're having. And I must say that technology does play a significant part in our lives, and even how our bodies are affected, even cognitively, because if you watch TV too long, it affects you on a cognitive level. It also can affect you on a cellular level, to my understanding. But you're the doctor of this technology. So can you talk to us a little bit about that? And while you do that, I'm going to take a sip.
I don't think that 5G has anything to do with
Mhm.
a virus. The articles that I've read, and like I mentioned to you before,
Mhm.
my wife is a retired RN.
Mhm.
She does contract work for the federal government
Right.
under health.
Mhm.
So I hear COVID-19 all day, every day.
Yes.
So, and from my understanding, if my recollection serves me right, the disease was created in some lab, some guy from a university,
Mhm.
a professor in a university. I
Mhm.
can't think of the name of the university right now, but I know the story is correct.
Mhm.
He sold
Mhm.
that virus to
Right.
China, to China. And what China did with it, I guess we can speculate
Mhm.
that they inject some type of bats or whatever, and some, I guess, I'm not going to say weird because it's a culture thing. They ate a bat.
Mhm.
So how that came from a lab at a university to 5G
Mhm.
makes me want to what's really going on. Ask that question. You
Right.
know, is someone trying to steer me away from 5G? Is someone trying to make sure that I don't align my talents with 5G and invest my studying into 5G? Is this going on? See, I ask myself those type of questions,
Mhm.
not just, oh, they're going to kill us or whatever. I don't believe anything that a lot of people say. So, I,
Mhm.
like I said, I'm a trained researcher.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trained to only go by facts.
Right.
And just to let you guys know, I respect opinions, but they mean nothing to me. I only go by facts. And the facts don't match up. If you take a disease and you take 5G, show me how you're going to compare those. Show me how they meet. Show me. And I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see it.
So I want to take a couple of quick questions, and I'm going to respond to that what you just said too. Phyllis said, "Is the blue light on devices one avenue for others to see what you are doing?" So basically, even like the camera lens on your phone, or your laptop, and even some smart TVs, it's been said that people can hack and actually see inside your homes. Is that correct?
Yes, I would if you have that type of fear, it wouldn't be, I guess, it wouldn't be paranoia to put a Band-Aid or something over your camera when you're not using it. If you're into activities that you don't want nobody to see. Like I mentioned before, my grandma said, if you're not doing anything bad, don't nobody have anything to tell them. So what you worried about? Mm-hmm. So I kind of live my life like that. I don't care what you see. If I'm sitting here, if you want to watch me watch TV all day, do your thing.
His wife might not appreciate y'all coming into his home, though. But let me say this, Doc, because many people are saying it's really not about them not having nothing to fear. It's more about their privacy and their right to privacy as a spiritual being having a human experience. And in the human experience, everyone has rights to have privacy. So that's the thing.
I understand that, but I say, how do you know when they're looking? They have the capabilities to look through your wall, to listen to everything that's happening in your house. If you really want to be if they really wanted you to be the primary target for today, there's nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. So what is your solution for that? Is it paranoia, or is it to make sure you don't do anything to get in trouble by the so-called policing of your activities? Mm-hmm. So, but like I said, and I hate to be so frank, don't be so full of yourself to think somebody would use millions of dollars of resources to watch little old Dr. Elliott. No.
So what about the people that are saying, Doc, you're totally wrong, because that's what they're exactly doing. They're watching people, they're watching them in their homes, they're watching them in their cars, they're watching them in their jobs. Everywhere you turn, there's a camera here, there's a camera there. And as you said, and we're just going to say they, because I think many people may be able to understand what Dr. Heflin is saying when he say they are watching us and have the capability to penetrate our walls and see what we're doing inside. So for those things, people are asking, why does that have to be? Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're watching people, and that's how so many companies get intel to know what to market to people.
Yes.
What'd you say about that?
It's really, they're looking at data. They're not really looking at a human being per se. They, just to give you an example, they might say, okay, how many times she ate pizza this week?
Right. Okay,
and look at your credit card statement or something, avenue that you use money for. Or you never know. They're not looking at a person. They're looking at data. You understand what I mean? And to me, it's kind of far-fetched that you think anyone, and I'm just not saying you in particular, anyone would think a person would take $1 million of resources to watch little old me. It's not happening. Now, there's been something to watch my data on my credit card, which is already being produced by my swipes
Right.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So now they just pay my bank for the information.
Right.
Okay, he likes, I use myself as an example. Well, he likes Cadillacs. He's only bought Cadillacs his whole life. So I get plenty ads of
Right.
Cadillacs
Mm-hmm.
coming to my computer
Yep.
because they know that,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a behavior pattern. But that's what we're in business to do.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know what my local community needs,
Mm-hmm.
as some business people phrase it, my target audience. If I don't know what they need,
Mm-hmm. You can't market to them successfully. And this is a thing that people I think people oftentimes miss, like when we get our phones and we turn them on and we turn our computers on, or we go to apps on the internet. A lot of times the apps will ask us, can we have your data? Can we share your data? Also, even with your computers, like I've got a what is this? A HP. HP has software on my computer where the software will ask me, hey, can I do thus and so? And then it's up to me to say yay or nay. But when I say yay, then I'm giving them the authority to extrapolate that information from me and also share the data of my habits, of what I'm following, what I like, so that they can further market to me. And those are the things that we have to be very careful of when we get on different apps, when we buy different computers and things like that. But this is the thing that I've learned, Doc. A lot of those things we can turn off. A lot of those things we can say no.
yes.
And we have to understand that we can turn those things off. So I challenge you, those of you that are just so overwhelmed with staying on your computers, staying on your phones, I challenge you in the next coming week to kind of step back and really look at it. Because we're talking about robots, we're talking about the effectiveness of it, we're talking about both the pros and cons of robots, but we're also talking about AI, artificial intelligence. We're also talking about, guess what? Whatever we're hiding from, they already have the technology to see beyond our walls. Does it make it right? No, it doesn't. No. But if you don't like it, you've got to do something about it. And the only way to do something about it is to stand up and have a voice. No platform, no power. So with that being said, we are really like kind of past the top of the hour. But I wanted to ask this as one final question, Doc, that we have. Can robots replace human beings? Because so many people say, the cash registers at the grocery stores are now replacing human beings because you don't have to go to a live person. You can go right up to the register and kind of check out yourself. What about robots at jobs? Because some companies are using robots or robotic technology within their companies to run their companies.
Okay, well, I'm so glad you brought it up in the way you brought it up, and the analogy that you use of the cash register. Mm-hmm. I love it. What people have to realize is, okay, I have a they call it self-checkout. I have a self-checkout here, right? At this grocery store. But I want you to think a little further. Someone has to program that self-checkout. Someone has to maintenance that self-checkout. Someone has to sell that product. So now we're only seeing it on the surface level that the cashier has been replaced. No. if we be honest, the majority of jobs give you a heads up on saying we're going to go in this direction. You want to take this PD or this professional development for this so you can write some code for this self-checkout? Or do you want to learn how to maintenance this? The options are there. My point is we lost one cashier, but just using the example that I just said, we gained 3 more positions. You guys have to look beyond what you see.
Wow. So, because I was getting ready to come back with another question that someone also had. These so-called cash registers are taking jobs from cashiers, but you already answered the question before I gave it. How can people prepare? And what I heard you say basically is you got to see the writing on the wall.
Yes.
When companies start asking you, do you want to take this training?
Yes.
It's a precursor to something else that's about to take place. And Dr. Heflin, you said many companies will oftentimes say, hey, will you take this training, blah, 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 blah. They're going to give you a heads up. Now, some companies, they may offer that training, but oftentimes companies, they're going to move into whatever they're going to move into because it's a part of business for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that being said, the onus is actually on you, the individual that's working for these companies, to always keep your eyes open and don't succumb to being caught off guard.
Yes, I concur with that. You have to prepare yourself. We all know you have it at a minute level in your home now. You see AI is steady coming.
Yes.
And an older guy told me a long time ago when I was a kid, anything that you see on TV and they claim like they are imagining it, there's someone out there trying to produce it.
Exactly.
Don't be fooled. So we have AI in our pocket right now.
Yep.
You should be asking yourself, what direction are they going with Siri thing? What is they doing? So if you want to be a part of it and you don't want to miss the boat, you would start investing into what is this? Like we said at the beginning of the program. Why? 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 Why is it necessary that we have Siri on our phone? Okay, what is Siri?
Are you going to tell us what Siri is?
Huh?
Are you going to tell us what Siri is?
It's artificial intelligence.
Awesome. Awesome.
At the lowest level.
At the lowest level.
At the lowest level. So you can get on board right now and start finding out what is behind AI. What is behind these different things that's coming into your home? How did they do that? Yes, be a creator. Stop being a user. I don't say, some of us, yes, I understand, don't want the responsibility of, have to read all day or study all day. So be it. But don't be a person who complains about something that you could have been involved in creating yourself. You see it coming. No one's hiding it from you. They sell it to you. So it's up to you to buy it. And she had alluded, I know we're a little over our time, she had alluded to the blue light. Ask yourself, why is the computer blue anyway? Why did they choose blue? You have to ask yourself those type of questions. Why? Can
you tell us why, Doc?
They say it's a appealing, cooling color.
Calming, right?
Yeah.
It's designed to calm us.
Yeah.
So what I want to share with you guys have some great questions, and I love your input. And as we get ready to close, because I'm telling you, Dr. Heflin and I, we can go on for days because this topic is so wide and it's such an explosive topic, especially now in the mid of COVID, because so many people are connecting the virus to AI, which is artificial intelligence. And there are so many discussions yet to be had. So I know many of you want to see Dr. Heflin back on the show, and we will tackle some other questions. So please go ahead and put a 4 in the comment below if you love what Dr. Heflin's saying and you want to see him come back. And don't only put a 4 in the comment below, go ahead and suggest some things that you'd like to know about for my next broadcast with Dr. Elliott Heflin, the guru robotic engineer. Because if you're just joining us, you missed a phenomenal broadcast, very insightful, very intelligent broadcast, awakening the why in us as to why do we have AI in our homes? Why do we have AI in our pockets? Why are we using AI right now? We need to know, but we don't just need to know why. We need to be a user. Don't just be a user, but be a creator. And that's what Dr. Heflin has done. He's become a creator. He's become a specialist. And he didn't let the color of his skin or that he was 5'7" or 5'8", however tall he is, he didn't let that stop him. He pioneered and he moved forward. And that's what he's here today to help you pioneer and move forward. And so as we get ready to close, I want to go back to our viewers and take 1 or 2 other questions right quick before we go. Phyllis Weaver said, what if a company does not offer education and they do not have money for education?
Well, Phyllis, I'll be honest with you. As you know, college students are poor. Okay? Very poor. I would go to Barnes & Noble, get me a cappuccino, and sit and read the books I couldn't afford. Get up, put the book back on the shelf. So it's no excuse that you cannot obtain the education you want. Like I said, you see it coming.
Yes.
We have libraries. We have a computer, which they call the information highway. Mm-hmm. If we use it for what its purpose is, Phyllis, you will not be left behind in any arena. Anything that anyone teaches you, anyone trains you, is in a book already.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
It's in the book already. So thanks so much. And don't make excuses, folks out there. And this is not directed at Miss Phyllis, because Miss Phyllis is making moves.
Yes.
So when I say don't make excuses, make moves, that's a word of encouragement. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let, because you're a woman or because you may be from Pakistan or Asia or Guam or wherever you're from, don't let where you're from or who you are, what you are, stop you from being the best you that you can be. And Dr. Heflin is here today because he's sharing the wonderful things about robotics and to dispel some myths and to give you some courage to say, don't just be an end user, be a creator. Learn about robotics, learn about artificial technology and artificial intelligence so that you will better understand its effects on you, on your body, and on your brain, and on your life. So don't be just a user, be a creator. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for your comments and everything you've said. And I have to take this one more question because I said that I'd take 2 more questions. So Phyllis Weaver said, what are the best AI courses to take? And let me share this with you. I'm going to share with you what are the best robotic courses because this is artificial intelligence. So I'm going to let Dr. Heflin tell you a little bit about that, and then I'm going to move on over and share something with you. Dr. Heflin.
Okay, Miss Weaver, what I would do is find out what direction you want to seek in AI. What do you want it to do? Do you want to develop AI for phones? Or do you want to develop AI for cars? Or do you just want to know the foundation of AI? I think that would lead you in the direction of what book you should be looking for. Me, myself, I would study the foundation of AI. What is the purpose? No matter what direction I end up taking it in, I'll have the foundation. I have a solid foundation of what it stands for. Yeah.
You, because I want to introduce you to Dr. Heflin's company, so that if you're interested in this type of technology, already exists. And I have the man with the plan here with us today that can help you help yourself ignite and take flight. You can learn this technology. You don't have to be left behind, but it's all a matter of what you want to do. So Dr. Heflin is the CEO of Reality Technology, teaching tomorrow's technology to folks today. So if you go to his website, he has several areas of interest that will teach you what artificial intelligence is. And he will also talk to you about his company and how to get involved. And as you see on the right-hand side, he is the guru at teaching children, and he's taught children as young as 6 years old how to program robots, because robots really can be companions and our friends. So with that being said, Dr. Heflin, I got to tell you, I really love your website, and I was so delighted to go to your website and see how you help people help themselves ignite and take flight and use new technology to overcome old situations. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you everyone out there that chimed in. And for those of you that I couldn't see your responses, I still love you and I appreciate you, and I thank you for being here. And if you're just catching up with us, no worries, go ahead and hit the replay. And if you haven't shared, liked, or started a watch party yet, please go ahead, share, like, and start a watch party, because this information needs to go out to someone who doesn't just want to be a user, but wants to be a creator. So Dr. Heflin, as we trickle down, is there anything that you would like to share on our way out as we close our broadcast, but we don't close our minds to the possibility of robots?
Yes, I just wanted everyone to know, she had gave you guys a glimpse of my website. And if you go to my website, you will see the different things that are offered. We're in a pandemic now, so we can't do the face-to-face as far as in-school field trips and different STEAM conferences. But I do all those things. I do not hold back. Right now I have an online platform. You can log on to the online platform, and I will teach your children how to code a humanoid robot, how to interact with them, how to, I guess you can say, learn the terminology of a robot. It's nothing that a person can't do. And I want you guys to realize this before I leave. Children do not have fear. We place it in them. They do not know that they do not supposed to be learning robotics at 6. We're the ones who say, you're too young for that. It's not true. But I want you guys to know, you can go on my website, you can sign up for the robotics class, you can sign up for the the drone classes. You can sign up for the Python classes. This is what I do on a regular basis. It's very simplistic to me. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Just leave me email. We have a contact information, and you can just send me an email, and I get right back with you within 24 hours. Thank you.
Oh, you've seen his site. Don't let nothing hold you back. Do what you got to do to learn more to improve the you that you want to become. So thank you so much for everybody being here with us today. We have thoroughly enjoyed you. And Dr. Elliott Heflin, we are so happy that you came to spend a bit of your time with us, helping us ignite and take flight. And with that said, I want to say to each and every one of you, don't forget, if you need one-on-one coaching for your business or for your life, make sure you contact me, Lotus Riche at Lotus Riche Ignites Coaching and Consulting. You can reach me by way of lotusignites@gmail.com. You can reach me here every week on Tuesday and Wednesday as I go live with the Lotus Riche Ignites Show, helping to ignite you to ignite and take flight, to become a better you in every way of your life, and for you to take control of your life. So be blessed. Until we see you again, please refrain from stress and don't do anything less but be your very best.